Welcome to MLC TV News Hour, reaching you live from the city of LINKAGE, the Confluence State of Nigeria. I am Jenejia Balagbubu. First, the headlines. Vice President YEMI OSINBAJO says unity, tolerance are key drivers of peace in a nation. Federal government threatens enforcement as NIN-SIM linkage deadlines expires, and Premier League to introduce 5 subs from next season. The President, Muhammadu Buhari, in Abuja called on parents and religious leaders to caution their youths against the recent spate of murder, kidnappings and sexual assaults by rival cult groups in Ogun State. This was after he said that the police and other law enforcement agencies must confront head-on groups seeking to destroy peace and bring disorder before they gain strength. According to a statement signed late Thursday by the Senior Special Assistant to the President on Media and Publicity, Garba Shehu, Buhari was reacting to reports reaching him on the renewed cult violence between the Eye and Aye cult groups, which has persisted for over a week, following the killing of key leaders of both groups. It read in parts, "What should frighten us is that the deadly cult groups are increasingly attracting lonely, anxious, troubled youths who they trap in unorthodox social practices. Parents and religious leaders must come to grasp what is going on and halt the radicalization of our youths." Vice President YEMI OSINBAJO says unity and tolerance are crucial values needed to safeguard peace and stability in a multi-religious society like Nigeria. OSINBAJO's spokesman, Laolu Akonde, in a statement said the Vice President said this when he received a delegation of imams, Islamic scholars and Muslim leaders from all over the country in Abuja. The delegation of more than 25 Islamic clerics, intellectuals and leaders of different groups was drawn from higher institutions, National Council of Ulamas, Qadriya movements, Fitiyanul Islam of Nigeria, and Darika sects. Also in the delegations were National Council of Muslim Youth, Muslim Students Society of Nigeria, Jamaat Tajdidul Islamai, Salafia Youth Movements, imams from the National Mosques and Legislative Quarters in Akpo, Abuja, among others. The delegation was led by Professor Siraj Abdul Karim from ABU Zaria, the National Chairman of the Community and Youth Development, CYD, a public affairs group of ulamas. Addressing the delegation, OSINBAJO said that until one engaged with the people, one could not tell what they and others wanted. Earlier, one of the leaders of the delegation, the Chief Imam of the Lagos State House of Assembly, Dr. Abdulhakeem Abdulateef, described the Vice President as a leader who loved all Nigerians, regardless of religious or ethnic differences. President Mohamed Bazoum of Niger Republic has expressed appreciation to President Muhammadu Buhari for approving the $1.96 billion Kano-Katsina Maradi railway project. The Nigerian leader, who was on state visit to Nigeria, made the commendation after a closed-door bilateral talks with Buhari in the presidential villa Abuja. It was reported that Buhari had, in February 2021, performed the groundbreaking ceremony of the Kano Dutse Jibia Katsina State Maradi 284 kilometers rail project, connecting Kano in Nigeria to Maradi in Niger Republic virtually. The project, approved by the Federal Executive Council (FEC) in September 2020, is believed to be crucial to rail development in Nigeria and in the West African sub-region. It is being executed by Mota-Engil Group, a multinational engineering and construction company. The project, with 15 stations along the corridor, would boost socio-economic activities in Kano, Katsina and Jigawa State in Nigeria, as well as Maradi in Niger Republic. Bazoum said on economic issues, "We discussed the Kano-Katsina Maradi railway project, and this project is an infrastructure that will integrate the economies of Nigeria and Niger." He also lauded Nigeria for leading the way in funding activities of the multinational joint task force currently maintaining security in the Lake Chad basin. The Nigerian leader expressed optimism that Nigeria and Niger Republic will continue to promote ties in the areas of security and economic development. The visiting Nigerian leader was also hosted to a lunch by Buhari shortly after their bilateral engagements. Some members of the House of Representatives have proposed that the National Assembly be shut down to force the President, Muhammadu Buhari, to wake up to his responsibility of ensuring protection of life and property in Nigeria. This is just as a lawmaker called for the resignation of sacking of the National Security Advisor, Babagana Monguno, saying he should have been sacked along with the last set of service chiefs. The House cut short its plenary on Thursday following an extended debate on the growing insecurity in the country, during which emotions ran high in the chamber. Items on the order paper for the day, which contains the agenda for each plenary, were stepped down after the lawmakers, mostly members of the ruling party, All Progressives Congress, spent over 1 hour criticizing the Buhari-led regime and security agencies. A member of the House, Shehu Balarabe, had moved a motion of urgent public importance on the killings in Kaduna. The majority leader, Alhassan Ado Doguwa, noted that he would use his emotion-laden voice to speak in his capacity as leader of the House and the ambassador of the government on this floor. Ado Doguwa said, "You can see how this chamber is thrown into disquiet and into an emotionally disturbed manner. When you have a government in place, the major responsibility of that government, especially a democratic one which was elected by the people, is to ensure safety of lives and properties of its innocent citizens." The majority leader asked why several parts of Kaduna State have been under attack despite the existence of several military and paramilitary institutions and bases, the highest number you can count in the northern part of the country in the states. He stated, "The government in this case has to rise up to its responsibility and call a spade a spade." Ado Doguwa pointed out that the National Assembly had always appropriated more funds for the security agencies, while relevant committees have been following up on the use of the funds in the implementation of the budgets. The majority leader described the situation as an institutional failure and regimented failure on the part of our security agencies because you have no cause to even excuse any one of them. Contributing, Aminu Suleiman said the situation is going beyond the control of our security agencies, adding that nobody can explain this clear case of what I will call ineptitude, absolute ineptitude. He declared that the entire country is now insecure, with the crisis in the northwest growing at an alarming rate. Suleiman said, "I am beginning to interrogate the power of our resolutions here. We have passed several resolutions. We have lamented. Is there any way now that we can ensure enforcement of our resolutions? Can't we as a House take more drastic action?" He added, "If our resolutions cannot work, is it not possible to close this chamber and join ASU and say we are not resuming here until the Commander-in-Chief of the Armed Forces performs his duty? I am not directly accusing him, but the buck stops at the table of the Commander-in-Chief." The lawmaker added, "We must do something practical, dramatic and serious to show to the government and to the people that we are doing our best. Otherwise, when resolution starts, some of the innocents may be the victims." Also, Chike Okafor said the country has not fared better on the Buhari-led regime since it took power in 2015. He added that security had not improved despite changing the service chiefs. "It is not about the failure of anyone in particular. All of them have failed and they must acknowledge that the failure is that of all of them." Okafor added he wants to align with the last speaker that they have to go beyond just speaking from this place and do something drastic, something more revolutionary. He thinks that if they wake up one day and say they are not opening the doors of this chamber until something drastic is done, Nigerians will not take them seriously. The KOGI State First Lady Rashida Bello has reiterated the government's commitment to continue to support the culture and values of the people with sustainability to attract the global world. Rashida Bello disclosed it during the 4th edition of the KOTONKARFI Cultural Fishing Festival held at the Ohiogbani Pond in KOGI local government area of the state. Wives of security chiefs, political stalwarts, top state and federal government functionaries, dignitaries from within and outside KOGI, traditional rulers of the entire KOGI KOTONKARFI all witnessed the events. Our reporter, Faith Abdulgafar, has more.
The people of KOGI KOTONKARFI are predominantly fishermen and women. It is their major source of occupation aside from farming. The 4th edition of the Fishing Festival got sponsored by the First Lady of Kogi State, Rashida Bello. Rashida Bello was accompanied by the Deputy Governor's wife, Ejira Onoja, the SSG Folashade Ayo-Ade, wife of the Naval Service Chief, other top government appointees, including market women and other groups across the state. The Ohimege Igwe His Royal Majesty Abdulrazak Issa Kotu says the fishing festival has again encouraged the people of the area. He called on the government and non-governmental organizations and other relevant stakeholders to support the festival to a greater height to attract tourists and become a channel for economic hope in the state.
They're hardworking people. In the enabling environment we want sponsorship, we want the government to come to our aid. We want private, public-spirited organizations to come and sponsor our annual fishing festival. We want to use this window to showcase to the world that tourism, in the absence of oil, that tourism is the key. And KOTONKARFI should be the next tourist attraction in Nigeria. We have the enabling environment. We are peace-loving, we are hard-working.
The First Lady Rashida Bello appreciated dignitaries who travel from far and near to attend the event, urging them to sustain their commitment towards reviving the culture of the people. She said she sponsored the festival because of the love and passion her husband, the governor of Kogi State, Yaya Bello, led administration commitment towards the development and reviving of the culture and tourism sector.
We are just fine-tuning it by empowering the women and men that are into fishery. We encourage them to take this very seriously so that we can safeguard it for a long-lasting performances.
She urged the youth and women to take the fishing business seriously as a means of becoming self-employed and as well as contributing their quota towards increasing the economics of the state and that of themselves. Others commended the people of KOTONKARFI, describing them as a hard-working set of people whose culture does not just bring people together in love and unity, but provide occupation for the people.
We believe so much in the fact that we are rich in culture, and we want to encourage the children to follow suit in accepting and adopting every culture in Kogi State, because we are uniquely created and we need to distinguish ourselves from the Western region to say that we have culture and we are proud of our culture. I want to encourage every of the KOTONKARFI people to please make this national first, then it can also be made international, where people from all over the globe will be invited and be parts of this cultural heritage.
But what is about this we are celebrating here today is simply bring about unity, togetherness and unison, which bring people collectively to celebrate what is their own. And this has signified they are truly a cultural people that believe in cultural heritage. And any society or organization that does not have culture, I think I shouldn't be a society that is recognized.
I want to say that the economy of this environment is boosting, and it is in fact growing and waxing stronger in view of the institutionalization of this fishing festival that people have always gathered. You can see the multitude and the population that we have gathered. Then the ethnic representation. We have people of various ethnic groups that have come. Men and women have come. So you see the unity of purpose that this cultural heritage is showcasing. I want to say again, finally, and with emphasis too, that we are proud to be part of this occasion, and I have been given the position of facilitation, and I'm as a facilitator to facilitate this program. I'm grateful to God Almighty.
The fishing sectors cannot be ignored because it is crucial to the Nigerian economy for contributing about 5.40% of the national gross domestic product (GDP). According to the recent research, it is noted that the fishery is an important economic sector in terms of employment, food security, enterprises development and foreign exchange, earnings, and also important in terms of the livelihoods of many rural people and nutrition. Best animals protein source to mankind, especially amongst the village dwellers in Nigeria. Nigeria has been regarded to have a huge appetite for fish, with an annual demand of 1.5 million metric tons. This figure has since been on the increase. Faith Abdul-Ghaffar reporting for MSC TV.
The federal government has said it is ready to enforce the implementation of its National Identification Number Subscriber Identity Module policy as the deadline for the verification exercise ended on Thursday. However, it has given telecommunications subscribers a couple of days that their SIMs are linked to their NINs. Prior to this, the federal government had extended the deadline for the SIM-NIN verification exercise from December 31, 2021 to March 31, 2022. The federal government disclosed the latest development in a joint statement titled "Federal Government Urges Citizens to Link NIN to SIM Without Delay." The statement was signed by the Director of Public Affairs, Nigerian Communications Commissions, Dr. Ikechukwu Adinde, and the Head Corporate Communications, National Identity Management Commission, Kayode Adegoke. The statement said the general public would recall that the federal government approved an extension of the NIN-SIM linkage deadline on the 31st of March 2022. When the SIM-NIN policy is implemented, SIMs that are not linked to their NINs will stop working. Commenting on this, the National Association of Telecom Subscribers, Adeolu Ogubanjo, said the government cannot enforce the policy yet because of the various challenges limiting the SIM-NIN exercise. A lot of SIM-NIN centers have capacity challenges. There are downtime challenges too, and this has a lot of impact on the SIM-NIN registration process. He added that if the issues surrounding the SIM-NIN exercise weren't solved, the extension might take longer. Meanwhile, while speaking to journalists in Lagos, the president of the Association of Licensed Telecommunications Operators of Nigeria, Benga Adebayo, disclosed that the SIM-NIN exercise was making progress. According to him, since the setting up of an industry interagency working group, the exercise has made progress. He added that the outcome of the SIM-NIN exercise would be a reliable and credible national base. The federal government has directed the National Broadcasting Commission to wield its big stake on television and radio stations airing inciting broadcasts as politicking for the 2023 general election gets intense. Minister of Information and Culture Lai Mohammed gave the directive at the inauguration of the governing board of the commission in Abuja. Mohammed, a chieftain of the All Progressive Congress and one of the members of the Federal Executive Council, also tasked the board to fast-track the implementation of the government's digital switchover. Addressing the reconstituted board, the minister said the most important task facing NBC today is to successfully transition the broadcast industry from analog to digital broadcasting through the digital switchover DSO project, while the NBC is the implementing agency for this all-important project. A ministerial task force on DSO under my chairmanship is driving the project. The NBC had at various times sanctioned television and radio stations, including Arise TV, Channels TV, AIT, and Nigeria Info over what the commission termed unprofessional broadcast and hate speech. The government is also pushing for an anti-social media bill in the National Assembly and seeking to amend the Nigerian Press Council Act and the National Broadcasting Commission Act that are currently before the legislative arm to have more control over the press, but the bills have expressed pushbacks from many civil society organizations and media veterans who accuse the regime of the President Muhammadu Buhari of suppressing freedom of expression and clandestinely using Mohammed to bring back the infamous Decree 4 of 1984, enacted during his days as Nigeria's military ruler. We go on a short break. We'll be right back.
Every country has its peculiar system of government. In Nigeria, we practice democracy, and this is applicable in some countries across the globe, including the United States of America. What is democracy? It is the government of the people, by the people, and for the people. In the political arena, we are ready to x-ray how we play politics in Nigeria and other countries. The challenge of power shift syndrome, how it has impacted or affected the people. How can we make it better for all? Join Fatima Yakub on Melkite TV online every Saturday by 9 p.m. to discuss and examine all about the politics and the power that be.
Mr. President, I was once there as an opposition senator. There was never a time that we called the president at that time, who was a PDP president, an insult, because this is our institution. And if we don't conduct ourselves with dignity and respect, nobody will respect us.
The heads of security in Nigeria made several different explanations for killings of our citizens.
The Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria 1999 as amended, I hereby forward for the confirmation by the Senate the appointment of the underlisted nominees as National Commissioners and Resident Electoral Commissioner for the Independent National Electoral Commission, INEC.
To watch us, subscribe to our YouTube channel, Melkite TV. Like our Facebook page, MLC TV, and follow us on our Instagram, MLC TV 2021. We are here to inform, educate, and to criticize constructively. Don't miss it.
Welcome back. Now on politics. The Kwara State House of Assembly has declared the seat of the lawmaker representing Ojomu Balogun constituency in of a local government area of the state, Said Pupola, vacant for defecting to another party. The Speaker of the Assembly, Yakubu Danladi Salihu, announced this on the floor of the House during the plenary of the Assembly. Popola, however, said that the Speaker and members were fighting the law as he had secured an injunction from the State High Court bearing the Assembly and the Independent National Electoral Commission from declaring his seats vacant. He said the Speaker and the members of the Kwara State House of Assembly have no right to declare his seat in the Assembly vacant. Even INEC also has no rights because a Kwara State High Court presided over by Justice Yusuf has granted an injunction that they have no power to declare his seat vacant. But the Speaker noted that the declaration agreed with Section 1091G of the 1999 Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria as amended. He pointed out that the Constitution was clear as Popola ought to have vacated his seat in Ojomu Balogun constituency, having defected from the All Progressives Congress to the Social Democratic Party. He also explained that since there was no division in the political party of which he had previously sponsored, there was no basis for him to dump it for another party. The Speaker submitted that the House had therefore informed the Resident Electoral Commissioner in the state of this development last Monday for further legislative action as Ojomu Balogun constituency was now vacant following Said Popola's defection to another party. Popola had last week Tuesday in a letter written to the Assembly said he had formally defected from the APC to the SDP. In his defection letter captioned, "Notice of defection from All Progressive Congress to Social Democratic Party," addressed to Salihu and read on the floor of the House, Popola said his decision to dump the APC was in line with the provision of Section 100, subsection 1D of the Constitution as amended. Ahead of the 2023 general election, a Social Democratic Party SDP presidential aspirant, Prince Adewale Adeboye, has urged Nigerians to protect their voters' card, which he described as a tool for the masses to choose their candidates during the election. Prince advised Nigerians not to sell their votes, adding that if they sell their votes to a particular party's candidate and such candidates emerge victorious, they would not have the moral right to challenge such candidates if he or she fails to deliver dividends of democracy or electioneering. Adeboye gave the charge during the interview with journalists, described the electorate as the most powerful, but according to him, the voters in Nigeria do not know the power bestowed on them by the reason of their PVCs. While urging Nigerians to avoid votes, buying politicians and money-backed politics, the SDP presidential aspirant said if Nigerians do away with such acts, then an ordinary Nigerian who does not have money to buy votes would be encouraged to vie for elective position. He said they need to talk to our people. What they have observed in recent elections is that a lot of people went to sell their votes. If, for instance, the people who have power of vote throw away their power and sell it for 300,000 naira, why would such people blame politicians if such politicians fail to deliver on his or her electioneering? He thinks that same way people will be reluctant to sell their children, reluctant to sell their school certificates, the same way they should be reluctant or even rule out the idea of selling their votes. He continues, his message to Nigerians is for everyone to be a participant. He knows it is hard, but you have to be a participant because the only power you have is your vote, though many people do not know this. While urging Nigerians to pray for a peaceful electoral process, he advocated for a free, fair and credible election in 2023. Now on crime. The narrow gauge train traveling from Lagos to Kano derailed at Forinruwa near Jaji in Igabi local government area of Kaduna State, killing the train driver in the process. Abdullahi Alaji, Northern Regional District of the Nigerian Railways Corporation (NRC), Zaria, confirmed the incident to the journalist in Zaria. According to Alaji Bala Kau, the driver of the train died during the incident as the cargo train was conveying soft drinks to Kano. He said the incident happened as a result of vandalization of the sleepers and other accessories of the rail track in the area. Alaji said rescue efforts are currently ongoing. Gunmen have attacked security operatives and set ablaze a custom van along Isele Azagba Road in the Anocha North local government area of Delta State. It was gathered that the hoodlums ambushed the team, made up of the police and vigilante, at a customs checkpoint. The State Police Public Relations Officer DSP Edafe Bright confirmed the attack, adding that nobody was killed. He said the armed robbers shot at the vigilantes, but they quickly took cover. No death was recorded. Now on foreign news. Dozens of people have been killed and hundreds others injured in renewed ethnic clashes between the Rizegat and Falata communities in Sudan's Darfur region. The fighting broke out on Tuesday, reportedly following the killing of a lieutenant of the Paramilitary Rapid Support Forces (RSF), an ethnic Rizegat, by unknown gunmen. Those killed in the clashes, which is said to have continued up to Thursday, include women and children. The security body said security forces had been deployed to contain the situation. The war in Darfur began in 2003 after ethnic African rebels revolted against former President Omar al-Bashir's Arab-dominated governments. Bashir responded by arming local Arab militaries who targeted non-Arab communities accused of supporting the rebels. Hundreds of thousands of people died and many villages were burnt and pillaged. While the main conflict has subsided over the years, deadly clashes often erupt over access to pasture or water. Last year, bloody confrontations between two communities left more than 40 dead and hundreds wounded before the two sides signed a short-lived peace treaty. Now on sport updates. Despite missing out on the fourth consecutive appearance at the World Cup and losing 5.90 points, the Super Eagles moved up 2 steps in the current FIFA ranking released for the month of March by the world governing body. The Eagles moved up from the 32nd position to the 30th in the world ranking released on Thursday. Nigeria also climbed up 2 spots in Africa from 5th to 3rd. Reigning African champions Senegal ranked number 1 on the continent at the 20th best team in the world. Morocco's Atlas Lions are the 2nd place team, while Egypt and Tunisia are 4th and 5th respectively, completing the continent's best 5 national teams. Other African countries that completed the top 10 list are Cameroon, Algeria, Mali, Ivory Coast and Burkina Faso. However, Brazil overtook Belgium as the #1 team in the world, with the Red Devils setting for the second spot. France follow in the third, while Argentina and England complete the top 5 globally. Italy, Spain, Portugal, Mexico and the Netherlands are all in the top 10. Others that made the top 20 list are Denmark, Germany, Uruguay, Croatia, Colombia, Wales, Sweden and Senegal. Premier League clubs will be able to make 5 substitutions from the 2022-2023 season after they belatedly agreed to the rule change on Thursday. Teams in English top flights were allowed to make 5 changes for the final stages of the 2019-20 season due to fixture congestion caused by the coronavirus pandemic. However, unlike other major leagues and European competitions, the rule then reverted to 3 substitutions per side due to fears that extra changes gave an advantage to the bigger clubs with deeper squads. From next season to be made on 3 occasions during a match, with an additional opportunity at halftime. The Premier League said in a statement, Liverpool boss Jurgen Klopp and Manchester City manager Pep Guardiola were outspoken critics of the previous refusal to adopt the change given the demands placed upon players by the English game. And that is the size of our package today. Join us next week at the same hour to watch our news as we give you updates on happenings within and across the globe. Don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel, Malachi TV, like and follow us on Facebook, MLC TV. You can also follow us on Instagram at MLC TV 2021, our Twitter at MLC TV1. For your coverage, events, information, contribution, adverts and sponsorship, please call any of the numbers displayed on your screen. Join us Fridays and Saturdays to watch our special programs. Fridays 9 p.m. Local Government and You, Saturday 7 p.m. Family Affairs, Saturday 9 p.m. Political Arena and Sunday 6 p.m. Women's World. Remember, our news is from Mondays to Fridays. It is Malachi TV, reaching everywhere, informing everyone. I am Gina Balagbubu. Please continue to be your brother's keeper to build a united and peaceful society together. Good evening and see you next week.